Hello, beloved audience.
Oh, it's back.
I have no idea why, but it felt
It just
right.
just felt right.
This might actually be around the anniversary when the show started. I can't remember offhand, but I think it was definitely toward the end of 2022.
Well, that would explain some shorter seasons, that and the gaps.
Yeah. But here we are today with The Cabin in the Woods, which I went into thinking it was just a copy of Evil Dead. I was very wrong.
That's kind of the joke with the movie.
Mm-hmm. What I was not expecting was there was going to be a Power Ranger in here.
Yeah, you messaged me. Oh, she was in Power Rangers. Which one was it?
Jungle Fury. She was the Yellow
Yep.
Ranger. So I didn't
Nice.
expect to see a Power Ranger dropping F-bombs and taking off her shirt, but I'm here for it, bro.
Different view of Power Ranger character, I
Yeah,
guess.
I mean, they did do that R-rated Power Ranger short film a few years ago. Did you ever see that?
I think you mentioned it to me, but I don't know if I ever saw it.
It was something. That's
All
for
right.
sure. But back to Cabin in
Okay.
the Woods. So this takes every horror movie trope you can think of and makes fun of it.
Yep. See, the thing, usually I don't like satirical movies because when a movie satirizes something, it just becomes the movie it's satirizing, and I'm like, so I feel like I'm just watching the thing you're making fun of, and that's usually how it feels. And the first time I watched this, it did kind of feel like that, aside from the spliced in bits, because for the bulk of the movie, it is still just another one of those movies with something else going on. You don't know what that something else is.
And then you find out the thing going on. You're like, oh, God.
Yeah. So full spoilers ahead if you haven't seen this.
Yeah. If you haven't, the movie's 14 years old. That's on you.
You hadn't seen it.
I also didn't watch any reviews about it. So I wasn't spoiled.
Neither did I. Somebody took me to see it and was like, you should check this out. I was like, I don't know anything about it when it was in theaters.
I'm glad I went into this knowing nothing, because that certainly helped. But so what you have here,
your second time watching will be a different experience now.
So what you have here is your initial typical horror movie trope. You have the hot girl, you have the jock, you have the normal girl who's, holding herself. You have the guy who's like, I like you, and then you have the stoner. And they even make fun of that.
Yeah, no, it's kind of the whole premise. And the thing is, they are meant to fit these certain archetypes, but you have like the jock and the hot girl are actually both kind of smart.
And they're also not assholes.
Oh my god, dude, that's the crazy thing. Unfortunately, you don't get enough time to experience their actual personalities, but when they're being themselves, not being manipulated, they're all really likable.
They really are, like Jules and Kurt. Is that his name, Kurt?
Chris Hemsworth's character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Thor and a Power Ranger are dating in this movie. That's crazy. But then you have Dana, who's essentially the main character.
Yeah, for the most part.
What was his name? The stoner guy.
Marty,
thank you. And then the other guy. What?
Holden.
Thank you.
His is probably the hardest name to remember, I think, out of the bunch.
They all get an invite to Chris Hemsworth's cousin's cabin in the woods.
I see what you did. No, again, even the title is a play on horror tropes.
Because like you see a title called "The Cabin in the Woods" was the first thing you think of. Probably Evil Dead.
Yes, I know I did.
But that's where I went. That's how I went into this movie. Like I said, this is another Evil Dead movie, and no.
I really like the whole cast. It's just like they feel like friends. They're giving each other crap, but they still clearly care about each other. I mean, this is the craziest thing. The whole movie, not a single character leaves the other one to die.
Never.
They always have each other's backs, and again, when not being manipulated, they are making the right decisions.
Now, something the movie shows you right at the beginning, like literally the first thing, are these people in like this science facility, and you're like, what
is happening? Just two guys talking about normal life? What is going on?
It was weird. Like I was like, did I start the wrong movie? Like
I think I thought the same thing at the beginning. Like,
I then said The Cabin in the Woods. I was like, wait, how does this? What? So what you find out is instant spoilers right here because the movie tells you this basically right away.
You kind of have to. I mean, it doesn't. You don't really know what's going on until later on. But
like this science facility is trying to like appease the ancient gods. So I assume it's like Cthulhu and shit. Well, they don't say, but that's the implication I got.
Just ancient, terrible gods, apparently, for some reason, went to sleep. But to stay asleep, they need sacrifices, I guess. Honestly, that part doesn't really matter. But it's the premise that sets up the whole thing. And there's kind of this implication that this is where all the horror movies come from.
Yeah, like, honestly, it's going on around all over the world. And, like, they just have facilities where they just watch these people die.
The thing that I find so weird, though, is they make it clear that around the world, the ritual is different. So, like, what the American team has to do is completely different from what the Japanese team has to do.
Yeah, I think it's the only one they directly mentioned. Forgive my yawning, but...
You see clips of some of the other ones who had failed. Like, there's a giant Yeti thing, and there's some other things happening. But it's just weird that like, the ritual is different for everyone, but only one has to succeed for it to work. And in this particular round, it comes down to the U.S. and Japan.
Well, I remember it cut to the Japanese one with the ghost, and I was like, wait, what? It just cuts there. I was like, oh, okay.
Yep.
But they get to this cabin after having a weird talk with this redneck guy, and whatever. You never see him again.
There's always got to be a creepy dude saying ominous stuff at the beginning of one of these movies. It has to happen. And again, there's the trope.
And like they see this painting. Holden sees this painting that's like really, really, really messed up. And when he was pulling it off, I was fully expecting a jump scare, but it was a mirror into the other room with Dana undressing, and he was like, "I'm not going to be a creep today."
No, but I love that whole scene because the thing is, like, yeah, he thinks about it. Of course he thinks about it. And then, even better, he tells her that he thought about it, but was like, no. And that's the thing. Like, he had a chance to be a dick, and then he wasn't. Adding to the fact that the whole main cast is great.
None of these people are really terrible at all. Like, you watch a show like, for example, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They're all terrible people.
And that's, in that case, that's the show.
But, like, let's use another horror movie. Friday the 13th, the reboot. That one guy, Trenton, I think that was his name.
I know he has the same name in that he does in Transformers.
But the whole point is he's a douche the whole time. You're like, no, I want you to die. Nobody in this movie I really was rooting for death for. I wanted them all to get out of this. But, they end up switching rooms and figuring things out. And the cellar just kind of opens after Jules makes out with the wolf.
Yeah, that was a scene. And sorry, and then
dude, I was fully expecting the wolf to like bite her. I was like,
when I first saw it, I think I was thinking the same. There's just this tension, even though nothing's about to happen there. No, my favorite part is when the cellar flies open. Is the wind must have blown it open. Marty's like, what kind of sense does that make?
He's making fun of it, like it's just making fun of Evil Dead.
Yeah, a lot of it is.
And there's a whole bunch of random shit down there, and Dana reads an incantation that brings the zombies back to life.
Honestly, I was surprised it didn't say Klaatu Barada Nikto, but
that would have been insane.
Which I think isn't even from Evil Dead.
Isn't that from Evil Dead? I know it from Evil
Dead. No, it's in Evil Dead, but I think it came from like The Day the Earth Stood Still or something before that.
I wouldn't know. I definitely know it from Evil Dead though. But that's when you see the science.
Yes, it was. It was that. I just looked it up. It is from The Day the Earth Stood Still. I don't know how I pulled that.
But that's when you see the evil douchebag science people manipulating the situation, and now we got zombies who don't bite people. They just are stabby.
And see, that is the main giant distinction between zombies and the zombie redneck torture family. Very important distinction.
They're almost completely different species. Like, what was it? Elephants and elephants something else?
Elephants, yeah. He said elephants and elephant seals. That's how different they are.
But they, again, start manipulating the situation to have Jules and Kurt leave and then, like, shoot out the pheromone gas.
Yeah, which, again, like, they're not dumb characters. They wouldn't normally do those stupid things.
They're being manipulated.
Yeah, I mean, you find out, like, it's really a quick line, but they had put something in her hair dye to make her dumb.
Yeah, they did say that.
And it's
But
like, okay, but because right off the bat, one of the first conversations is like they are going to school and they are taking it seriously. These are not dumb characters.
even Marty with his giant bong, which is just a coffee cup extended.
It's a pretty badass bong though. And then the stoner dude being the voice of reason the whole time.
He's the only one who's like, this ain't right. Something's wrong. Like, he's hearing the voices.
Okay, I know I heard somebody talking just then.
But yeah, Jules gets killed by the zombies. I never thought to see a Power Ranger get decapitated.
Yeah. God, and that's such an uncomfortable way to go.
Mm-hmm. Like, stabbed through the hand while you're trying to... Yeah. It's not fun.
No.
Then the zombies start, like, attacking.
Yeah, one of them has a bear trap on a chain, which was...
I wonder if Winnie the Pooh copied that.
Yeah.
That's all I was thinking of the whole time I was watching this. I was like, oh, well, now I know where Winnie the Pooh got it from.
Yeah. I'm sure it has to have been done somewhere else, right?
Yeah, but Marty gets taken away, and you think he's dead. We'll get back to that.
No, he dies. He totally dies. There's like an earthquake and everything.
There's an earthquake and blood splattering. But during this, too, Marty finds a camera. So Marty starts figuring it out. And they're like, eee.
I'm on a reality TV show.
My mom's going to think I'm such a burnout.
Marty's great.
Oh, he's my favorite character in the whole thing.
As well he should be.
But, they get out. And as they're driving away, the cave hasn't been caved in. So someone's manipulating things.
Already had figured out.
Yeah. And so Chris
Hemsworth... of course, since he was the paranoid stoner dude, he is telling everybody this, and they don't believe him, obviously.
They just think he's high as a kite.
Yep.
And so Chris Hemsworth's idea is, I'm going to drive my bike over this ravine and totally not hit a barrier that a bird flew into at the beginning of the movie. Not going to do that. Nope.
Poor Thor.
And then poor Holden dies like a minute later.
Oh, God, through the neck.
And then, like, poor Dana, like, that zombie was beating the shit out of her.
Yeah, I have to actually give her some credit because, if I'm not mistaken, on the screen in the background when she's getting beaten up, I think she's spitting blood at one point.
Almost like she's throwing up blood.
Yeah, sure, that's what I meant. But point is, like, and then she's just running around after that.
Like, that thing is beating the shit out of her. And then you find out Marty, survived.
Giant bong to the rescue.
And he takes her to the facility where we see a lot of scary things.
Dude, when I first saw this movie, I was just... Because, again, the whole time, I mostly felt like I was watching just a regular, Cabin in the Woods movie, because for the bulk of it, that's what it is. And then that end scene hits.
And it's like,
damn.
Whoa, like, just a bunch of monsters from your nightmares. Like, there's a giant snake, a giant spider, an evil clown, a ballerina with, like, a demented monster fang face with no eyes.
There's a lot of them that are just horrific things, but there's a number of references in there from, like, the murder board where they were betting on it earlier, and then in that end sequence, legally ambiguous references, of course, except for, they have the Left 4 Dead zombies in those containers, too.
They must have gotten the license from Valve to use those.
It was supposed to be like a crossover thing. It didn't go through, but I guess the games were going to have some kind of Cabin in the Woods level, and then it just didn't happen. But
that would have been cool, actually.
The Left 4 Dead zombies are still in there. You can see the Boomer, the Tank, the Witch, and I think the Hunter is there, too.
He might be.
But, yeah. And then there's a bunch of... If you watch the behind the scenes, there's actually a bunch of... They filmed, like, actual plates for that wide shot that didn't even make it into the movie. There's a whole bunch of them.
That's awesome, actually. That's actually sick.
And they throw in this line at the end that the reason Marty was somewhat immune to the manipulation was because I guess they had put something in his weed to make him more susceptible to it, but they missed one of his stashes, and whatever he was smoking made him immune to the chemicals.
Good job, Marty. Being a stoner paid off for you this time, buddy.
It's such a throwaway line, but it's just like, yes, the weed saved you.
Dude, when they unleash the monsters, what a fucking bloodbath.
Yes, and the lead up to it is great because it's just like, let's get this party started, and then silence. All you hear is the elevator moving, and then ding, all hell breaks loose.
I
It's
don't
a
know that I've
great
ever
moment.
seen so much blood in one scene in my life. Like, that was a lot. Like,
It was.
that was carnage candy. Like, and like when the body falls off the ceiling, I won't lie, I was like, huh.
It was it was supposed to be funny. That was definitely a
I
pause.
d-
Pause for comedic effect.
Or then when one of the guys who was like obsessed with mer people got eaten by a merman.
Yeah, the whole time he's like, I never got to see a mer. It would have just been so much cooler with a merman. Well, you get to see your merman, dude.
Or then what about the one guy who was like, this is weird, I don't like this, getting attacked by zombies and then just blowing himself up with a grenade.
Yeah, it sucks. And yeah, I'm guessing he blew himself up because that probably really, really hurt. And he's just
Well, I
like, let's
mean,
just end this.
he was the one like voice of reason throughout this whole thing too. Like, this is
Yeah, no,
weird.
he
I
definitely
don't
was
like
not.
this.
He was clearly new. This is his first time seeing all of it. He understands what's going on and why it's necessary. But the woman from the chem lab too, she knew why it had to be done, but she was not a fan.
And then she got taken away by a giant octopus.
Yeah. How many other references did you catch in that end sequence though? Because there's a couple of, so obviously you got like a crazy clown Pennywise.
Mm-hmm. There was they kept taking a shot of that one, like it looked like a young girl, but they only ever showed her back. They showed her like 4 or 5 times. But they
Oh
never,
yeah, yeah. It's that the one where she's like wearing all white and she's
yeah.
walking slowly. Yeah, I feel like, and a lot of people agree with this online, is that's supposed to be a reference to Alma from Fear.
Oh, it very well might be Alma. I was thinking
Be-
Samara, but
because that the way she's standing, the slow walk, that is kind of straight out of the games.
is that what Alma does? Okay.
Yeah, she does it a few times.
Alma's freaky. Shock of the
It-
century, Alma's freaky. But
yeah.
Jesus Christ. And then it's just Sigourney Weaver out of nowhere.
Suddenly,
Honestly,
Sigourney Weaver.
I was fully expecting a xenomorph at that point. I was just like, okay.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, there was that sort of face hugger looking thing that jumps out of the elevator at one point.
Yep. One of those ghosts reminded me of 13 Ghosts. You ever seen that?
Yeah, the one of the first ones they see.
Mm-hmm.
And how it's being blocked by glass. Yes.
Reminded me straight of 13 Ghosts.
I don't know where they find this glass that can block ghosts.
Magic.
Magic. Well, at least 13 Ghosts does explain it.
And it's Sigourney Weaver gives all the exposition at the end of the movie.
It's important.
Like, as long as the stupid whore dies first.
The stupid whore. Jesus
I almost
Christ.
feel isn't that basically how they described her?
They do talk about her horribly, but again, that does not apply to Jules.
No, but that's just how they described it.
And then yeah, they say that
the rest of the order does not matter as long as the virgin either dies last or survives. That doesn't matter.
I love Dana's reaction when she calls her a virgin. She's like, "Virgin? Me? No." And she's like, "We work with what we've got."
Is Dana not a virgin?
No. No.
Oh, I thought she was this whole time.
She says at the end that she's not. I mean, she doesn't finish the sentence, but like,
I mean,
she's surprised to be.
Part of me thought that she was like, "Why do you know that about me?" Like, you're not supposed
no,
to,
she was shaking her head like, "That's not. I'm not." And then Sigourney's like, "We work with what we got. Like, we know you're not a virgin, but you were available. You were the one that was here. You're innocent enough that you apply."
And then, she actually contemplates shooting Marty.
That's as close as they come to turning on each other. But even then, they're like, nope.
And then she gets mauled by a werewolf, and Sigourney Weaver gets killed by a zombie with one arm, who we've seen a couple of times.
No, she's the one that wrote the notebook, the diary that they were reading from.
And then both Marty and Dana are just like, fuck it, let the world burn.
Time for something else to have a chance.
And then a giant hand comes out and destroys the planet.
I mean, Dana might survive the apocalypse. She is a werewolf now.
She might, but I love how the implication at the end is just, yeah, nope, everyone died. We lose.
Yeah. Next week, we'll be talking about the sequel to this film, Clash of the Titans.
Oh, God.
No.
Oh God, that would be. I loved this movie actually.
I'm glad you liked it.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved all the horror movie tropes that they turn on their head and just straight make fun of, almost
Yeah.
like telling the audience, like, "This is stupid."
Yeah, like I said though, typically that's what satirical movies are trying to do. I don't think they succeed because it's just like, oh yeah, I see what you're doing, you're making fun of it, but at the same, I don't know, it's like oh, this joke is stupid, and to show that joke is stupid, you just tell that joke. That's how satirical movies feel. This does
But
not
this
feel like
did
that.
not feel like that. It felt, competently written by people who know horror movies and are like, "Yeah, let's turn it all on its head."
Yeah, let me ruin this for you a bit. A big a big part of this movie coming together was Joss Whedon.
No, I saw. That makes
Okay,
sense.
so
I watched the
it,
opening credits.
okay, sometimes he missed it, but back in his popular days, because this was right. Oh, yep, this was the year before Avengers.
Yeah, so he was probably already currently working on when this
Yeah,
was released.
almost definitely.
But I would definitely say, if you're a horror movie fan, I don't even know if that classifies as a horror movie because it's really not scary.
No, but pretty much if there's excessive blood in a movie, it can't not be classified as a horror.
Unless it's like a R-rated action movie.
I guess.
But this had enough horror movie tropes to be a horror movie, but it's definitely almost like a breakdown of the horror movie genre. Almost like Scream was the slasher
Yes.
movies.
Which, yeah, again, Scream is somewhat satirical, but it does fall more in line with it is just another one of those movies. But it does have enough references to be like, haha, I see what you're doing.
But I would definitely give this one. I really don't have a whole lot of flaws with it.
My biggest thing is just, how did Marty avoid the cameras?
Magic stoner powers.
Magic stoner powers.
And like,
maybe it's just they
the only
weren't
other thing I
looking at those
called
cameras.
BS on was how Dana took that beating from that zombie.
And then yeah, just kept moving around after.
Like, why it didn't just outright kill her is also beyond me. Because it was fine they were fine with killing everybody else.
The virgin needs to suffer the most, and the zombies knew that. I'm trying to make it make sense. I got nothing.
You can't make that one make sense.
No, you can't. Well, because you're supposed to feel like the movie's about to end.
And nope.
Nope. And then the best part comes after that.
I question though how Marty didn't die.
I mean, I guess it's implied that he somehow, because he was stabbed in the back when he got dragged away. Yeah. He didn't have any other weapon on him. I think he had dropped the bong by that point. Maybe he got the blade out of his back and turned it around on the zombie dude.
I don't, because like when he's being dragged, like he's screaming and there's blood splattering. So I guess that was the zombie's blood splattering. But the zombie's blood is black, so
yeah,
I don't know how he overpowered it when he had a knife in his back, but whatever.
We had to think he died. It was important for this story.
I mean, it worked out. And Dana taking a joint hit at the end was just all right.
Yep, this is how the world goes out.
And then this is why this is the end happened. It's the same universe.
Oh, now This Is the End. I was going Clash of the Titans, but whatever. One of my favorite things to find out later is that the reason that Marty's like wearing long sleeves and why he doesn't jump in the lake with everybody else is because the actor who plays him is actually like really ripped, and they didn't think that fit Marty's character, so they had to hide it.
Makes sense.
But it's just funny to find that out. Like this dude actually,
when you open it, he's as jacked as Chris Hemsworth, and it's like,
yeah. Well, nobody's as jacked as Chris Hemsworth these days, but
except maybe Chris Evans.
No, but you can kind of see it a bit when he saves Dana at the end. He's holding there's this pose where he's holding the giant bong. I'm like, oh yeah, he does have kind of big arms there, doesn't he?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's just funny to think that the stoner dude is just secretly ripped.
But yeah, Cabin in the Woods, definite watch. I recommend it unless you're super into Power Rangers and you don't want to see your Yellow Ranger get ripped apart. But other than that,
yeah.
Our next pick is a request, actually. A request from somebody in my personal life.
Yeah, and I'm told for the first time that you're going to have to keep it PG. Can you manage that for an entire episode?
I don't know, but
Hmm.
we're gonna try. So my stepdaughter requested this one, so I think that narrows it down. This will be the newest released movie ever reviewed on From the Shelf that has taken the world by storm since its release on Netflix.
Finally! I already know what it is.
K-pop Demon Hunters.
It's about damn time.
Get down on your knees because we're gonna be your idols next week.
That's your favorite one.
Easily. But anyway, thank you guys so much for listening to us this week. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you next week. Take care.